Do you think there's life on other planets?
Yes. Considering what we logically know right now, given that we have no evidence yet of alien life, we have to admit that we could be alone. And yet, just given the sheer number of worlds we know to exist in our galaxy alone and all the possible environments out there, it very much feels like we can't be alone, that there must be something else out there in the cosmos.
I don't know if I'll ask this question well, but I hope you'll get the sense of it. To have life like us, I'm thinking of in terms of like you can build a car in a lot of different ways, but ultimately it looks like a car. Would life like us be similar to us? Is there like something fundamental that if you're going to do this thing, you kind of got to do it this way?
There's this process in evolution called convergence or convergent evolution, where there are some forms and functions and patterns and behaviors that life converges back to no matter what. Flight is a good example. So bats evolved flight separate from birds. And so bats and birds did not evolve flight together. Insects that have flight capabilities, and there's lots of those, did not evolve flight in the same pathway either, but flight is converged upon. And so I think we'll very likely, if there are animal-like creatures, we'll find flying ones out there. It's very likely if there are plant-like creatures, we'll find trees out there, alien trees that evolved from different backgrounds but converged.
If alien life does come here, what do you think happens to us? Because I think we're dead.
I mean, if it's like an alien virus or pathogen or something that doesn't have intelligence but can feed on life as we know it and is better than life as we know it at competing for resources, it could very quickly just, destroy all of our ecosystems. There'd be great trophic collapses in the food web. Things would shut down pretty quick on our planet in such a case. Like on Earth, for most microbes, if you gave them unlimited resources and let them just grow and reproduce as much as they wanted to, most of them can reproduce so fast they could basically eat the entire Earth in like a day, if they had unlimited resources and access. They don't because there's competition. But say an alien bug, an alien bacterium or something from space, or an alien organism comes down and rains into our planet and starts eating resources and is much better than we are at competing for them, it could very quickly just destroy all of our life and its own in the process. That said, say it is Independence Day, say like an alien spaceship, a mothership comes down to the Earth. There's two wildly different possible scenarios. One of them is very benevolent and caring. Maybe it could be a first contact scenario, like meeting the Vulcans, and they want to trade knowledge and information. Maybe they want to hear our stories and hear about our culture and our history. And in turn, they're willing to share technology and knowledge with us. That could usher in a whole new evolution for our biosphere. It could be a whole new form of human that comes out of such a process through these new technologies and new ways of being. There's the other side of it, that they could want to destroy us for a variety of reasons. Now, in science fiction, I'll say one thing that I hate in science fiction. It really gets my goat every time. When aliens come to Earth for water, or they're allergic to water, and we've seen both in science fiction now. So aliens who come to Earth for water are stupid, and I'll tell you why. Because there is so much water beyond the Earth in our solar system. Like, Europa has more water in its ocean than all the water we have on Earth. Enceladus is full of water. Pluto is full of water. All of the icy moons of the outer solar system have oceans and oceans and oceans more water than the Earth has. And then if you have a species who's allergic to water, who comes down to our planet and wants to fight us, that's also pretty dumb. They should be wearing like really advanced spacesuits because there is water everywhere. But one thing that terrifies me when it comes to thinking about what kind of resource aliens might want here on Earth, since there are all the elements we can think of, the molecules we can think of are out there, except for our chemistry. It might be that maybe our chemistry for life as we know it is a very unique food source, maybe a delicacy for aliens, or maybe consciousness. Maybe there's something about the structures of our neurons and our brains and our intelligence and the kind of consciousness that we have that either seems like a threat or it seems like an interesting food source or a resource for some alien species to harvest. in which case I'd be terrified.
Yeah, well, that's a new nightmare that I hadn't thought of before
Yeah, you'll
until
sleep on that one tonight, right?
right now. It makes sense though, right? Like anything else that Earth has is available in more abundance throughout the universe except for us. So they
Yeah.
probably would just want us,
Yeah.
which probably isn't very good for us.
It seems pretty awful.